by a certain amount, we don't know how large, of the population in Bosnia, and even senior political figures.
The glorification of convicted war criminals is a real issue, and I really think it's a big obstacle to reconciliation in the region. I really would like to see more responsible politicians who would read this 1,700-page judgment, who would read the individual stories of the victims. Because as I have said many times, there's nothing heroic about executing prisoners. There's nothing heroic about forcing thousands of people to flee from their homes. So individuals prosecuted and convicted by these tribunals are everything but heroes, because they have been prosecuted and convicted for not respecting the Geneva Conventions and not because they behaved as soldiers.
Of the population in Bosnia, and even senior political figures.
Well, you know, my thoughts are mainly with the victims and survivors. At least they know today who is responsible for their suffering and who is one of the main responsible of the killing of their loved ones. So this is definitely a satisfaction. I remember very well in 2008, when I had the privilege of taking over this function, the arrest of Karadzic and Mladic was a hope, but we were not too optimistic at that time. Today, both have been convicted, and of course it's an important achievement for the Office for International Justice, but mainly for the survivors, because I can remember very, very well in my many, many meetings with survivors in Bosnia-Herzegovina, the number one request has always been to see Karadzic and Mladic arrested and convicted. And this has been achieved today. So, of course, we are satisfied with the outcome today, as we asked for a life sentence, and he got a life sentence for the gravest crimes he committed. Of course, the judgment was delivered just half an hour ago. As I mentioned, this is more than 1,700 pages or so. We have to study. I understand the frustration in relation to count one. It's the only count where there is no conviction for genocide entered. But as I have said in my press statement, the crimes, the underlying crimes, have been qualified as crimes against humanity for which he has been convicted. But what is really new in this judgment is that for the first time the judges recognize that a number of physical individuals had genocidal intent in a number of municipalities. This is, as we would say, a step in the right direction. But again, we really have to analyze this in detail. But it should not diminish the overall result of this case, where the maximum possible sentence was given.